Fox News host Clayton Morris decided to host a panel over the weekend where he asked the question, are female breadwinners a problem? Listen.
Trophy husbands are ruling the playground as their high-powered wives bring home the bacon. But are female breadwinners a problem? Here to discuss, Chris Scholes of YoungMarriedChic.com, Kmele Foster, co-host of The Independents, and Miss New York 2013, Joanne Nosachinski. Nice to see all of you this morning. All right, let's get into it. Let's roll up our sleeves and get a little dirty here. Kmele, is there a problem with men earning less than women in the household, and do you think that it could it could actually cause big marital problems?
It certainly could cause problems. I mean, anytime you're running against convention, I suspect there might be problems, tension with friends and family and folks who are very judgmental. But if your relationship is particularly strong and if you understand that it's about supporting one another, then I don't think it should be a fundamental problem you can't overcome in your marriage.
I get the cultural argument, guys. I mean, I can see how we can all weave our way through cultural issues, but isn't there some sort of biological innate need for men to be the caveman, go out and bring home the dinner and actually go out and is it emasculating if we don't do it?
I mean, I kind of agree. Like, the traditional gender roles have always been that, you know, the man takes care of the woman, and I think that problems can arise. And I think that also a lot of men base a lot of their identity on being able to take care of their family and kind of, you know, bring home the bacon. And I think that it's a little bit emasculating for them. I'm not saying that it's right, but I think also as a woman, you like being taken care of. And so I think there can be problems, even if you are supportive of each other. Maybe it wouldn't necessarily start out as a problem, but I think it could turn into one.
My issue with this segment is that it's just a silly conversation. I mean, we've gone over this so many times, man. Look, are there some just hardcore biological differences between men and women? Of course, you're not going to find anybody to disagree with that. So, for example, men on average are physically stronger. We both have different frames. Men have more testosterone, women have more estrogen. Forgive me for stating the obvious, but we have penises, you have vaginas. But when you get into the attempt at prescribing actions to people, like, hey, this is how you should act, and this is how you should act, just simply going based off of gender, that's ridiculous, okay? And we've been through this before, but do you want to know just how much of the idea of a gender role is bullshit? Then listen to this. Pink used to be the boy color. Blue used to be the girl color. Didn't know that, did you? Both genders used to wear dresses. High heels were originally for men. Cheerleaders used to be exclusively male. Lace used to be considered masculine, and women weren't supposed to wear it. According to research, men want babies just as much as women. Just men typically want them more later in life, and women usually want them a little earlier on. The art of brewing beer was pioneered by women. So when you go point for point, and that's not it, man, virtually everything that we think might be, like, innate or biological, go ahead and ask, like, somebody who's old school and say, why do you think it is that pink is the girl color? And I guarantee you they come up with some sort of bullshit response that they try to link it to biology. Like, well, the color pink is a bright color, and it's a color that kind of represents the feeling of flowers and spring, and it's very feminine by its nature. I mean, it's just biology, really. Guarantee you people will try to bullshit and say, well, it's like this because it's in our nature, man. It's just how we're wired. But the overwhelming majority of the time that people use that as their defense, it's nonsense. They're just making it up as they go along. So you need to keep that in mind when you have these conversations. But then also, the part that pisses me off the most is that it's just fucking disrespectful to ask the question the way they asked it. Like, somehow women are not capable or not able to be breadwinners. And look, I'll be honest, this is somewhat of a personal issue to me because when I was, I don't know, how old was I? Probably 13 or 14 years old. My parents separated, and then later on they divorced. And I came from a middle class or an upper middle class family, and you know, my dad made a very good living. He's passed away now, but when they separated, my sister and I lived with my mother. And my mother, thankfully, she had gone to college, she had a profession, And, you know, she stayed home to raise us, but then later on, when the separation happened, she decided she wanted to go back to work, and she's a physical therapist. So she makes good money. She now runs the department and everything like that. But she always was very happiest, let's say, when she said, you know what, I actually like going to work, and I like doing my job, and I like connecting with people, and I like making money, and I like the fact that I can pay the bills and raise the kids in a good way and make a decent amount of money where I can take care of them and give them everything that they want, so on and so forth. And the idea that you can ask this grossly broad, generalized question of, hey, are female breadwinners a problem? A problem? A problem? Like they're fucking scurvy. You know, like there's some sort of a disease, or they're going against the way things ought to be by going to work and choosing their professions. It reeks of trying to assign roles to people and locking them into a position in life. And this is just the problem with the conservative mindset on gender issues in general, is that the idea is we want you to do only what we allow you to do. We want to define it for you. We want to say, hey, asshole, guess what? You got to get in the kitchen. Hey, bitch, make my food and suck my dick and shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear a peep out of you, okay? You raise the kids, you make my food, you suck me off, and that's life. And every once in a while, you go out with your girlfriends once a month, and that's that, okay? That's your role, and that's it. That's all there is to it, all right? But then progressives come along, and they say, whoa. All right, look, here's the deal, man. If you want to do the old school traditional role as a female, by all means, go ahead. Nobody's going to stop you. By all means, go right ahead. Doesn't matter to us. It's your life. You live it how you want to live it. But also, if you want to be out there in the world making money, if you want to try to do what used to be considered a traditionally male role, you want to be a CEO of a company, a doctor, a lawyer, whatever, you should have the equal opportunity to do that too, and you should have the right to choose your life however you want to choose it. So again, that's the progressive position, and the conservative position is just silly. I'm sorry, but it's just stuck in the 1950s. And you could tell that that's the case just simply by the way that Clayton Morris asked the question. Are female breadwinners a problem? You know, like the rash I have on my ass right now?